Hi guys, so today has been a bit of a weird day. I basically don't have much creative drive today, so with that sometimes you just have to go with it and just do really simple bits of work that not necessarily doesn't take up a lot of thought, but more is about not being really focused on what the outcome is. It's just kind of experimenting with kind of the very basics of what artworks you have left over. So this basically means I am going to be doing today a compositional ink drawing, which I've already got here. I'm going to be combining some of my acrylic skins. Now I will do a full video on how I get my skins and where I get them from, etc, etc in the near future, just because I know some people are really interested in that, and I know that I am interested in finding out how people get their skins and what kind of mediums they use to achieve those, and the kind of acrylic pours and acrylic paints they use as well. But for this basic video I'm just going to be showing you kind of what I like to do when it comes to when you don't really have much creative drive, and also you're limited on art materials. It's also a very good way of using up any bits of leftover acrylic skins, as I've already said, but it just goes to show you don't ever throw anything away. I think a lot of you may have noticed that a lot of the materials I use are actually things that people have thrown away, and yet I find a use for them. It's kind of like recycling artwork. With that in mind, I have a box here in front of me with loads of different skins. So with this kind of drawing, I'm thinking a very dark and mysterious one, so I'm going to stick with kind of a dark blue. I've also got this really nice skin here, like this one here. It's really nice. It's a bit wacky and weird, but I also have this one here that I'm kind of like, I definitely want to start off with this one first. How I actually stick them to the bits of paper, it seems pretty obvious, but it's just normal PVA glue. I've got a whole bottle of PVA glue from using it and trialling it in acrylic pours instead of acrylic medium. Didn't really work, but in long story short, it's useful for this, so at least I found a use for it. So I'm just gonna mess around and try not to knock you over. Just take a little bit on my brush and place it on the back, and then it kind of keeps that space there. Obviously it's not a very neat way of doing it, but you can go back and like tighten up the corners eventually. Okay, so now I've got the basic first layer, or even only layer, I'm going to go in with a scalpel, well, broken scalpel, the top bit kind of didn't want to do anything else. Cut off the bits that are outside of the marked area. Okay. Starting to look a little bit like seaweed. I suppose that's not the worst thing in the world. Now the decision is to, if not, I want to add a bit of colour. I'm thinking just a single line over here. About that. Yeah, I think that'll be nice. Same again. Obviously you don't have to cut it off if it goes outside your lines, but that's just what I prefer. Because I am actually making a series of 9 to go into and to fit into a frame. I'll talk more about it in another video, but basically I got some inspiration from a show that I recently was a part of. And it just gave me a really good idea. We wanted to do something with these kind of ink pours for a while. I just didn't know really what. There we go. Tighten it up at the top because I forgot to cut that off. You also get the little bits that you can reuse as well, because you'd be surprised how much you can use little pieces in. There we go. Okay, so there's a very easy technique of reusing your acrylic skins with another artwork. I specifically used the acrylic skins for the ink drawing because I feel like with these I would like a lot of depth and maybe kind of a layering technique, and it just happened that I was doing some artist research and I saw people using their skins to actually make painting, like to make paintings from. They literally just stuck on a bit of board and stuck the skins into a composition that kind of reminded me of a landscape, and I thought that was a really good idea. And I kind of gave it a bit of thought and I was like, why don't I just stick some of the skins on top of some of my ink pours that are maybe not as successful when they stand alone, but maybe just to use them as a recycling method, because I think this is a lot better than the previous just by itself. But hey ho, it's up to personal opinion, isn't it? So with that in mind, this video, like if you enjoyed it, comment down below any suggestions you have for my channel, subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and I shall see you guys next time, hopefully fully back with my creative drive. Sometimes you just have days where you just don't want to really do anything. You kind of have to go with it. It's much more, it happens a lot more than you realise when you're in a creative industry. Sometimes you can work a lot of hours and do so much within one day, and then the next day you're just like, I don't want to do this. I just kind of want to sit in my bed and play on some video games as a normal person, because you know what? You're only human. Anyway, bye guys.